Welcome to the Stronger Tides Podcast, the podcast for small business entrepreneurs and corporate executives to learn more about increasing their client or employee retention through a group cruise program. Ready to drop anchor? Here's your host, travel advisor Rita Perez.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Today is going to be a very interesting one. This is kind of focusing a little bit on your executives because I know sometimes you don't want to be bringing everybody on the retreats and you would rather just bring your executives on board instead of the whole team. And this is an opportunity. It's a very exclusive opportunity. It's something that my company, Rita Ventures, is one of the few that's able to take in for their travel businesses, and that is something called Distinctive Voyages. And it's pretty simple. It's just like you're booking just like any other cruises, but there are select voyages on certain premium and luxury lines which give an extra sort of benefits and boost to this. So if this sounds right up your alley, right up your company's alley, let's dive in just a little bit. And again, they're not like special blocked off cruises. Anybody can book it, but you can get into this special group called Distinctive Voyages just for booking your cruise with me. And this works if it's just, you want to send the CEO off, or you want to send the whole marketing team or the whole executive team or whatnot. So it'll work for individual reservations or group reservations. Now, I did say this is available on upper premium and luxury ships. So my little joke is elevate your elevated state. And that's what this all is about, is that you want to make everybody feel a little extra special. You're already loving on them and you just want to keep doing it because you don't want your people to go. So they have to feel the love. So some of these premium and luxury line ships include Azamara, which is an amazing cruise line, and it focuses on a lot of destination intensives. Silver Sea, beautiful luxury line. Celebrity, which is new luxury. We talked about that in a podcast or two ago. Cunard is a line that I have been wanting to try so much because they have one of the only ocean liners, if not the only ocean liner left in the world. And what does that mean? Is that it was purposely built to do the transatlantic crossings. Now, lots of ships go ahead and do the transatlantic crossings, but when I say it was purposely built, especially for my fellow motion sickness sufferers, this is really great. It's kind of like it's cutting through the waves instead of riding on top of it, is the best description I can give of that. So that is something still on my radar, to do a transatlantic crossing with Cunard. And then Oceania is another luxury line. And those are just a few. There's a couple more, but I just wanted to highlight a few of the cruise lines that you can sail on. And this would be their regular itineraries also. You just pick the one that you want, and there's a lot of variety. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So what are some of the exclusive amenities that you get? Well, you do get a private host, and it's like having your own personal concierge. They don't work for the cruise line, but they typically do work in the travel industry. They are very experienced and very knowledgeable, but they do get some extra training for their host duties on board. Then you have your welcome reception. You meet with other cruisers who are on the same sailing in the same Distinctive Voyages group. The voyage host leads the evening with drinks and appetizers, as well as let you know what your exclusive amenity is going to be. Now, one point of distinction is that your host is not really there. Your host is there to kind of provide a really great experience for you and your guests or your team, but they're not really there to be like, hey, my toilet's not working. That's not the idea of a host. the host is kind of to guide you like through your cruise and give suggestions. And yeah, it's kind of instead of going it alone and instead of having to wait in the regular guest service lines, you can have your own concierge who has the total insides and outs of the cruise line and the destination that you'll be visiting too. So now getting back onto that exclusive amenity, this is one of the newest features for 2021. So you can get an amenity, and I feel like it would be up to the cruise line if they want to offer a little bit more too. But you can get a choice, or not a choice, it's already predetermined. So whenever you're booking these, if you're interested in knowing what your amenity is, go ahead, reach out to me. We can go ahead and look at dates and also what amenity corresponds with those dates. Hey! Interested in getting an actual numbers comparison of a land retreat versus a cruise retreat? You know, honestly, when I was putting this document together, I couldn't even believe the great difference between the numbers. Visit StrongerTidesPodcast.com to be added to my weekly email list and get the download now. Back to the show. These amenities include exclusive shore events, shipboard credit, everybody loves that, an onboard event, or an onboard gift. And I don't know about you, but my love language is gifts. So I love all of these. Some voyages that I was able to see for 2021, they're starting in the spring. I don't know if they'll go because we still have that CDC cutoff where we do have to maintain with the sailings at 3 or 4 nights because Distinctive Voyages are usually 7 nights or longer. So, but there are some way throughout the year, and they're all different itineraries. There's various types of Caribbean, like Southern, Eastern, Western Caribbean, New England and Canada, Europe, so many awesome Europes like the Norwegian fjords or the river cruises or even ocean cruising. Really, if you are looking for a distinctive trip for your colleagues, for your team, for your executive team, this really is awesome because they're already going to have the elevated experience being on a nicer cruise ship. And this just gives them that little bit extra to be like, hey, so exclusive. Because we all know our execs do like the exclusive treatment and they do like to feel a little bit extra special above everybody else. So if you are curious and you want to know a little bit more about these distinctive voyages and what sailings they do have available, please shoot me an email. And this can be if you're wanting to put a group together for a retreat, or if you're personally wanting to put a group together, or just go solo with your spouse, with a family member, with a friend, because you are so ready to do revenge cruising. And that goes into part 2-ish of this podcast. Have you heard of revenge cruising? I had not. I kind of made the term up myself after I heard the term revenge travel. And if you had not heard those terms, it is because we all had our travels taken away from us this year. So it's kind of like us taking revenge against the universe or whoever you want to pin it on, being like, I'm going to take that big trip that I always wanted or that I have planned. I'm taking it next year in 2021 or 2022. And going off of that, I know a lot of people are a little bit wary of things that are happening, and I can't tell you one way or another how things are going to come to life, especially in our cruise and travel industry. But what I can tell you is that the industry is really hurting and therefore really ready to get started and off with a bang so that we don't have to go through this again. And that being said, I am going to be putting some revenge cruises together, some revenge cruise groups, because I think one of the things that people are a little bit wary of is traveling and not having some guidance or traveling by themselves. Like they're going to want to have like that group setting around them so they don't feel like they're so alone. And so that idea, plus it just sounds so much fun, is how my Rita Ventures Revenge Cruises kind of came to be. Different ideas that I have are Alaska cruises, a European Christmas market cruise. I want to do like a 3-nighter. Like the first cruise that I'm thinking about doing is either a 3 or 4 night in August of 2021. And then December 2021, I'm interested in putting together like a New Year's Eve, like goodbye 21, hello 22, because really 22 is going to be where it's all at. And then for 22, I would like to put an Alaska cruise. And at the end of 22, I want to do a European river cruise, a Christmas market cruise. So yeah, that is all of my ideas. If you are interested in one or any of the revenge cruises I've talked to you about, please shoot me an email as well so I can get you on my list and you can be notified as soon as I go ahead and put those out. So that is all for me today. Thank you so much for listening in, and I will see you guys next week.
Thanks for joining us on the Stronger Tides podcast. Please subscribe to our podcast. And if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating or a share with your colleagues. Find us on social media at Rita Ventures Group Cruising and online at ritaventures.net. Until next time, happy sailing.